Bitcoin is going up forever. Yeah, my point is that Bitcoin's never going to be more than 21 million Bitcoin, so it's a very fixed supply. It's the only scarcity that anybody can invest in the world. Every other asset that you can buy as an inflation hedge, like real estate or stocks or gold or commodities, all of those things have a supply that's going to increase as the price goes up. But you can't increase the supply of Bitcoin. So if you look at the world currencies, they're inflating at 10% or more a year for the past 30 years, maybe as much as 14% a year. You can expect they'll keep inflating for the next 30 years. And so Bitcoin measured in currencies of the world and in currency derivatives is just going to keep going up with volatility, albeit. Right? Gold is increasing in supply at 2% a year in the physical regime, and bankers can rehypothecate gold and they can print 100 ounces of paper gold for every real ounce of gold. And so Bitcoin is the dominant digital monetary network. And because it's dominant and because it's fixed, it means that it's the most reliable, highest integrity, scarcest thing in the financial universe. In Argentina, the dollar used to trade at $1 per peso, and now the dollar is approaching 200 pesos. The dollar is going up forever against the peso. The dollar's gone up forever against the Venezuelan bolivar. So a strong asset is going to go up against a weak asset forever. And since we know that nobody in the universe can create any more Bitcoin, and since we know that every political nation state is going to create more currency, it isn't really that much of a stretch to say that measured in the currencies of nation states, Bitcoin is just going to continue to appreciate. I'll make one other point. If you're trying to model the price of Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin is a function of inflation, right? If I double the amount of currency, then you've got a natural boost against a scarce asset. It's also a function of technology, right? We're building Bitcoin into every iPhone and Android phone on the planet. Like in El Salvador, they delivered it to 3 million people in 3 weeks. So as the utility of the asset increases, that drives adoption. And so if you increase the number of users by a factor of 10, if you bring 10 billionaires with $1 billion of capital each on the network, right? As you bring corporations on the network and as you improve the utility, the price just keeps appreciating for all those reasons. Even if we stopped printing any money and we had zero inflation rate, the utility of digital property that moves at the speed of light that can be programmed 1 million times a second is clearly higher than gold or higher than any other monetary asset you can hold. I think the most interesting thing in this year is that every public figure, every public CEO, every politician is being forced whether they're going to integrate Bitcoin into their nation state, into their currency, into their company, into their technology. That's the story. No one's asking whether they're going to integrate gold or integrate silver or integrate silicon chips, right? Bitcoin is the story. I think that over time, more and more companies are going to integrate Bitcoin into their balance sheet, and more and more companies are going to integrate Bitcoin into their products and their services and their technology. We had a big inflection point in March of 2020 with COVID, and that accelerated the institutional adoption of Bitcoin because it gave companies like mine a reason to buy billions of dollars of it. And I think the second inflection point is the past month, where it's very clear to every institutional investor and every mainstream company that the administration supports Bitcoin, the Senate supports Bitcoin, Congress supports Bitcoin, the Treasury Department supports Bitcoin. It's digital property. You can hold it. It's going to come into the normal regulatory regimes. I think that there's two ways to see the world. There's the crypto world. The crypto world would like to issue their own securities and create their own banks and create their own stock exchanges and not be subject to the CFTC, the SEC, or the Treasury Department. And they would just like to recreate the world anew. There's the Bitcoin view of the world, which is we've got digital property. All we need to do is plug it into every existing insurance company, existing finance company, existing bank, existing country, existing technology. So Bitcoin is a solution for Apple to make $1 trillion. Whereas in the crypto world, they want to rip Apple to zero and reinvent everything. And so, look, my view is that Bitcoin can be paired with JP Morgan and make JP Morgan a better bank. It can be paired with the US dollar and make the US dollar a better currency. Bitcoin can be paired with the existing power structure and the existing world as we know it today and make everything better. You don't need to rip everything down and rebuild it. So I think that there's a schism here. The crypto world is about rebuilding everything. We don't want regulation. We don't want taxation. We don't want government. And there's another way to see the world, which is let's just fix the capital structure or fix the underlying foundation of the world economy with a digital asset, which is Bitcoin, and then let the world evolve to something better.